Nagyon sok szeretettel köszöntjük újfent az OSM közösséget. Ez szerintem immáron a harmadik meetupunk együtt, az első nagyon régen volt egy nagy hiátus, és szerencsére ebbe a szezonba úgy néz ki, hogy egy kicsit szorosabbra sikerült fonni az együttműködésünket, ami nagyon nagy öröm, mert hogy az Urbánum ugye ilyen interdisziplináris műhelyként már kezdetben azt tűzte az ászlájára, és úgy néz ki, hogy haladunk efelé, hogy a különfajta érdeklődésű közösségek nem feltétlenül csak az informatikai technológiáik, de ők is be legyenek valami közös diskurzusba csatornázva, és aztán az meg már pláne nagyon nagy öröm, hogy mára sikerült, Iminek hála, egy nemzetközi kollaborációról szóló előadást is beszervezni. Én személyesen nagyon-nagyon izgatott vagyok, mert szerintem a téma is fantasztikus, meg az URB tanszék, akivel szintén már többfajta formában dolgoztunk együtt, és mikor megtudtam, hogy érintett, akkor nagyon-nagyon izgatott lettem. De én nem is szaporítanám tovább a szót, hanem átadnám, akkor először neked, ugye, a mikrofon.
Szeretettel köszöntök mindenkit, először én is magyarul csak pár szót. Benkő Melinda vagyok, a Műegyetem Urbanisztika tanszékén habilitált docensként dolgozom jelenleg, és nagyon örülök, hogy a OSM közösséggel most remélhetőleg egy ilyen hosszabb távú együttműködésbe bele tudunk vágni. Ez a lakótelepes projekt, én 2 éve dolgozom rajta szintén önkéntesként, jelenleg a kezdeti stádiumban van, hivatalosan ugye nemzetközi szinten elindultunk, 3 év a kifutása, és esettanulmányként a pesterzsébeti lakótelepet vittem be magyar helyszínről, és nagyon remélem, hogy ebből egy nagyon intenzív és izgalmas együttműködés lehet, és nagyon jó nemzetközi partnerekkel is egy értékes eredményhez jutunk. If I can continue in English, just a short introduction, because we don't know each other in person, but this lecture will be given by our German partners, who are the leaders of the Working Package 4. And the idea to involve or invite the OMS communities in the case study cities, it was their idea. So I am Melinda Benkő, nice to meet you. I am the Hungarian lead of this DUT project, so-called 15 minutes estates. But I give the floor because you have prepared a very good presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, good evening, everyone. And thank you, Imre, and your team for having us today and make it possible to present our project. So my name is Lisanne, and I'm working at the Leibniz Institute of Ecological, Urban and Regional Development in Dresden in Germany. And as Melinda just said, we are the German partners in this project. And Melinda, who is with you on site, and I will give you today a short introduction about our DOT project, 50 Minutes Estates, the modeling tool GOAT, and how we would like to map the 15 minutes cities. At the beginning, we will start with a short video.
Similar ideas to the 15-minute city have recurred throughout the history of urban development. Especially in post-World War II era, housing shortage gave way to the rapid development of large-scale housing estates across Europe. Certain design elements are similar to the 15-minute city concept. However, they were implemented in large housing estates with varying degrees of success, creating an opportunity to leverage these settings to enrich our understanding of the 15-minute city, specifically exploring spatial strategies that enable sustainable and just mobility. The aim of the project 15-minute estates is co-create locally adapted spatial strategies and interventions for just and sustainable mobility in large housing estates. The project consortium consists of 17 partners from the Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, Latvia, Bulgaria and Hungary, including universities and research institutions, city municipalities and non-governmental organizations. The project plan envisions 3 complementary components: conceptual, analytical, and co-creative. The conceptual part of the project deals with reframing the 15-minute city concept for large housing estates. The analytical part foresees extensive data collection and analysis of 5 case studies. Finally, the co-creative part aims to co-produce locally adapted spatial strategies and interventions to facilitate transitions towards sustainable mobility. The project will employ a comparative case study approach focusing on 5 large housing estates in partner countries. By working in close cooperation with all actors involved, it is expected that the final results, such as concepts, general design principles and guide for practitioners, will be transferable to other cities across Europe and beyond.
So this was a short introduction video. Now I will get back to our presentation, and Melinda will start with an overview of the case study area in Hungary.
From Hungary, 2 partners, the Department of Urban Planning and Design at the Technical University and a human geographer from a research institute will work together. And we have 2 other associate partners, the Co-Housing Budapest Association and the municipality of Pesterzsébet city. I think that you know the site, as Budapest divided into 23 different districts, and the specialty of this housing estate that it's located in the city center of this district, Pesterzsébet. You can see your exact site. It's also important to recognize that when I made this choice to focus on this housing estate, I wanted to work with a site that is not cooperated before in European project, because, for example, Havana or other are always involved in different projects. And it's also important to see this social economic map of Budapest presenting the income. So it's not a worthy neighborhood, it's really a problematic one related to this mobility and environmental challenges. And another specialty of this housing estate that it was created on the city center of Pesterzsébet by modern concepts, so that destroyed everything and replaced, not everything, but quasi everything, and replaced by modern infrastructure and modern mainly prefabricated residential buildings. The centrality index is really high in this housing estate, and the curiosity regarding to other sites that the former main street of Pesterzsébet, the Kossuth Lajos Street, the nickname Kossuthi, is still existing with the town hall, with the community center and so on. So it's not a typical new city somewhere, but a new city living with the former Pesterzsébet buildings and communities. And this is our area. And for me as architect, urban designer, it's really important to recognize that we have 3 different phases, 3 different spatial characteristics within these estates. As you can see, the first part, it was realized in the 60s. Then in the 70s, they made the northern part with really interesting residential buildings. And the last one, the third one, is the prefabricated huge slabs and towers from the late 70s, early 80s. So the limit of our area, this is the Helsinki út, the Nagy Sándor utca, Török Flóris utca, and the Határút. Yeah, and in this project, the focus on the mobility, the just mobility and environment, but I believe that it's really important to think about the people using this area, and not only the open space, but the buildings themselves. So, yeah. This meeting today is organized by the Working Package 4 that will be based on the work on the other 2 working packages. The second one, it will be led by myself. It's about the physical environment, so buildings and open spaces, and the social environment led by Dutch partners. And we have prepared a huge survey asking more than 400 inhabitants within the estate. Thank you. It was just my short presentation, and now we can focus on the working package 4.
Thank you, Melinda. Yeah, I will go on to talk about the modeling tool GOAT. And our work package is to co-create and model locally adapted and accepted strategies and interventions in public spaces to facilitate the transition towards sustainable mobility in large housing estates. And how do we want to do this? Our approach is to combine co-creation and urban modeling in an iterative participatory process. And we will use the accessibility tool GOAT, which was developed by the startup Plan for Better and further project partners like us in earlier research projects. It is a data-driven and interactive open source planning tool for accessibility and transport planning. And the analyses are based on a mix of open data like OSM, governmental data, and proprietary data. So the better the OSM data is, the better will be the results of GOAT. So now I want to present you a short video of the functionalities of GOAT. In GOAT, the accessibility can be displayed as isochrones or as heat maps. And you can calculate isochrones by selecting a point on the map, the travel time and travel mode, like by foot or by bike. And if you choose a thematic data, the tool will calculate the number of points within the isochrones. You can do the same with multiple isochrones. Then you can create scenarios like building a new bridge or change of POIs or the mobility network. And so you can evaluate new concepts and compare the accessibility of the changed road network, for example. Based on pre-calculated travel times, the heat map is computed dynamically and is based on the selection of the points of interest or the topic. And the heat map is shown in a hexagonal grid. You can add buildings as well, and so to change and compare different demands. You can compare different indicators and integrate external data, for example, in this case, the noise exposure on main roads. Okay, so the tool will be set up for all case study areas, and it will help us to analyze the status quo of accessibility in the different case study areas, and it will help to co-create scenarios for large housing estates. Therefore, spatial data is needed and will play a big part in our co-creative process. Yeah, now we get back to our case study area in Hungary. Melinda just already introduced the area, so I will just give a quick overview of what we need, which data we need from the OSM community. So first of all, we can only benefit from your local knowledge of the area, and with your help, we can generate high data quality for all OSM users. And we can improve the conceptual development, and we can improve the GOAT results. We not only need data for within our case study area, which is the red part, but we need data as well from different mobility zones. So the yellow part is the area which you can reach within 15 minutes by walking, and the green area is the area you can reach by 50 minutes by bike. Our main interest is in the points of interests and the quality of the pedestrian and cycling infrastructure, like the quality and walkability of ways and paths. These are some of the POIs we are thinking of, and at the moment we are discussing which mapping categories are useful or practical for the different mobility areas, because you can obviously reach a bigger area by bike, but this zone or this mobility area is too big to be mapped accurately. So this still has to be defined with the different project partners. During the duration of our project, we are planning a workshop series with local partners in the different case study areas, and with different project partners will be on site And depending on how far the local partners are, we will focus on different topics. So in the first workshop, for example, the topic will be data collection, or if we already have collected enough data, the focus will lie more on data quality. And yeah, and if you would like to support us and get involved, we are happy to invite you to these different kinds of workshops. There's still, but in the future, the first one will start this winter, but yeah, just to give you a short overview or outlook, what will happen during the project. Yeah, and this is just enough input from us right now, because we would like to switch to the Q&A session. And if we have any comments or questions, we are happy to answer them and discuss them. Thank you very much. Yeah, and just one, sorry, I forgot. With me today is Robert Hecht, Linda Hähnchen, who are as well in the project with me. So yeah, it depends on which questions you have, they will answer them.
How granular or how precise do you need this data to be in the OSM?
Okay, I will jump in. Hello, I'm Robert. So what we usually do or want to assess is to assess the accessibility and usually the amenities. For us, it is fine to have them on a address level, so we don't need decimeter or centimeter positional accuracy. For us, it is relevant that we have them mapped. Lisanne has already presented that there's two different data that we need. One is the POIs, or the amenities, and the other one is information on the street network, especially the quality of the street network that might be not filled. So here I think we don't have. We need to think about how much information we can gather with such a campaign. So I don't think that we could map maybe all the items related to the street network for the complete 15-minute cycling zone. So this is still something we need to discuss, but we would be happy to start with applying GOAT by having the amenities and the street network that is complete and up to date.
Mik azok a legfontosabb POI kategóriák, amik a leginkább segítik az ő munkájukat?
How would you define the set of amenities or points of interest that are the most important for your project?
I think GOAT has already categories that Lisanne has presented them in the slide before. So these are the categories that are, when we use the default version of GOAT, that could be, will be these categories that are relevant. And maybe Linda, you could maybe go more into the detail, because we already had a look on the tag value combinations that might be relevant for this. And maybe Lisanne, you could switch to the slide.
Yes, I would like to jump in here, and like you can see on the slide, these are the tag or key value pairs right now from OSM that we are looking forward to map. These categories, like Robert said, are at the moment integrated in GOAT, and this is basically our status quo right now that we are looking forward to use in the tool.
Az nem volt teljesen tiszta az előadásból, hogy a GOAT-nak a futtatásánál egy ilyen végállapotot szeretnének mutatni, vagy pedig rendszeres időközönként mondjuk havonta lenne lefuttatva a mintaterületekre, és adott esetben akkor mondjuk az OSM-nek az organikus fejlődését is próbálják követni, hogy nem tudom, külön önkéntes segítség nélkül mennyit bővül, és hogyha önkéntesek beszállnak, akkor mondjuk az milyen megugrásokat jelenten a GOAT használatkor.
So what's your ultimate, how Do you use GOAT? Do you either just run it once and examine the results, or do you want to rerun it at regular intervals so that you can compare the output of different runs to see what changed when either the OSM community organically has grown it, or if, well, let's just say some people contributed in addition to the regular OSM ones?
The tool will be made accessible as a web, interactive web tool. And the way the data will be used is that we take a stage from OpenStreetMap maybe every month, so that we can see then the differences at these two different stages. But I'm not sure whether I understand the question in the right manner. So did you mean you want to measure the benefit of the OpenStreetMap mapping campaign, or do you mean the benefits of the quality, like making scenario modeling with the tool, how this works? So the scenario modeling, this works like that. You will integrate maybe amenities within the GOAT platform. So these will not affect any OSM data. It will only affect the data that has been put in a PostgreSQL database. So for the scenario modeling, it will be a separate data set. So does it answer your question? Okay. So the source code is already accessible. It is just go to, we can put the link in the chat where the source code is. But we work together with a small company called Plan for Better. They have a business model. They put the code online or as open code, and they do how is it called, as the SaaS business model. So they help in setting up platforms, and they help in consulting or helping putting your own data into the platform and do some customizations. So they will support us in the project, and they will set all the platforms up for us. So the platform will be set up on servers from Plan for Better. But of course, you could also set it up on your own. So if you're interested, we can connect you to Elias, who's always keen to discuss such opportunities.
Volt említve, hogy más adatforrások is vannak, és mik azok, illetve így a GOAT-tal együtt más adatforrásokat használva lehet-e OpenStreetMap dátát tehát OpenStreetMap dátát javítani?
Okay, you mentioned that other proprietary data sources were used besides OpenStreetMap's own database. What were these data sources, and do you have any possibilities to combine these data sets and also contribute something back from the results into the OpenStreetMap database?
Yeah, this is a good question. Of course, we hope that we will get some data from the city administration as well. But we also experienced some conflicts. Even if the data is openly available, so we experienced this in Dresden. In Dresden, the data are made public with a license where you need it's not a ODBL license. It's a license where you for a data set where you need to put a name, and yeah, so there will be a license conflict, but we found out a way, and Theodor Rieches, he's in the call here, he knows a way or a workaround what would make it possible to fuse and use these data and to put them back. Maybe Theodor, you can comment if you like.
Okay, hello. So I'm not part of the project, but also I'm from IOER in Dresden. So I can add that there is a way, like in the change set of OpenStreetMap, we have some nodes we can do there. And so we can also add the attribution of the other external data source there. And this could work. So we, of course, we have to check it for each external data source and also the license, but it could be a way to include the attribution of the external data source also to OpenStreetMap, like yeah, in a change set information. So this was also discussed in Foskes conference in Germany some weeks ago, for example.
But of course, it really depends on whether there is any existing data from the city, and this we still need to find out with Melinda.
15 perces város meghatározásán figyelembe kell venni a terepi adottságokat? Tehát, hogy... Domborzat? Hát a domborzatot, igen. Tehát, hogy nyilván Budán ez egy irány máshogy.
Nem véletlenül a Pesterzsébet kiválasztom.
When you define a 15-minute city, do you take other factors such as the terrain into consideration?
Right now, like you saw on the map, we just created the isochrones via the Open Route service. So it takes, I think, if it's I forgot the word. If it's maybe someone from the German team can help me. Steigung, was?
Slope, maybe? No, is it slope?
Oh, yeah, if the angle of the slope is greater than 3%, I think, then it's taken into consideration for the calculation of isochrones. Otherwise, it's not.
We had also had some questions. So in a pre-meeting with Imre, we found out that you might have lots of experience already. And if you could maybe say or comment on what tools you have used or you are using to map your in your area, or what kind of experience you have made with mapathons in the past, that we would be very happy to get this knowledge. And we are also thinking of, and Imre mentioned that you also had some mapping campaigns, collecting street level images in Mapillary. Here we are also very happy if you can share your experience, and because mapping the street level or with images is also very helpful for us, especially when we want to extract attributes for the street segments, like the greenness, the visual green, for instance. So if you can also contact us individually or through Imre. We would be very happy if you could share your experience.
Okay, I guess we will collect all the answers to your questions and we'll forward it in a single package to you.
Oh, that is perfect. So we have you, Andre, and Imre as a contact person. That is very, and we were very happy that you are such engaged and that we had the opportunity to present the project here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.